Hello. I'm so happy to be here with you today to share tip number 11 in Aletha Solter's book, Raising Drug-Free Kids. So I'm T, your joyful parent guide and harmonizer, and yesterday I shared tip 10, which was a biggie. It was look for the true sources of anger at your children. And so today's tip number 11 is live your values. Now, who's going to argue with live your values, right? But I'm going to add a little spice to it. Okay, the first sentence in this tip. If you want your children to value the same things you do, it's important for you, blah, blah, blah. So I'm not even going to finish the sentence because I have a way different take. If you want your children to value the same thing as you do, that's okay if you do. But to me, that is not the point. Our children have their own lives to live, their own journeys. Do we really want them to cut paste our values, or do we want them to live their expansive joy that they are here to live? So that might look different. They might embrace slightly different values, or maybe very different values. Is that a bad thing? If they're living their joy, I would submit that's not a bad thing. So for me, the main purpose for us to live our values is so that we are having a joyful life. We are feeling integrated. We're not feeling like, oh, I have to be like this over here and I have to show them this and oh, they can't see me do this. No. So that we can be living a more joyful, integrated, expansive life. And we all know this, right? Living what we feel and living our values is way more powerful for anyone, whether they're 6 months, 6 years, 16 years for sure, way more powerful than a lecture, way more powerful than telling them, is being what we are here to be and being true to our own values. So, okay, I'm off my soapbox on this, but there are some really cool things that I want to share with you in this little tip, in this chapter. And the things are, I'm just gonna throw them out there, kind of seeds. See what lands, see what feels good to you, see what doesn't feel so good to you. But she offers some suggestions for values that might, if they are espoused, might help kids to grow up so that they're not, turning to drugs and alcohol as an escape or as a solution, in quotes there. Okay, so altruism, right? So being a contribution in the community, service, all of that, of course done in a joyful way, right? Not cutting into other things and being resentful because you volunteered for too many things. Does it sound like I might be speaking from experience here? Okay, if you feel that, it's true. Altruism, okay, honesty, great. Learning, right? So, and again, if this is not a huge, big value of yours, that's okay, but learning things that are joyful. So it could be learning, ceramics or ballet or, I don't know, a different language or how to paint or whatever it is, but learning things that are joyful, not trying to put things on yourself to show your kid that, you're some, great Einstein or something. So learning self-control, which is really big, right? And we talked about that. I think I talked about that in the last tip with anger with me. That was really a big deal for me. I thought I was, doing a great thing by venting and getting it out of my system, which getting it out of my system was good, but the way that I was doing it was not good. And I was modeling just really inappropriate behavior and not what I wanted my kids to grow up and do either. So self-control. Also, this is a big one, big. Well, there's another one that I don't particularly I mean, I resonate with it, but I don't think it's as big. Like respect for laws. Okay, that's fine. But nonconformity, right? So not needing to follow the pack, not needing to agree with the majority, not needing that. And I'm just going to share, I don't know why, but I feel like somebody needs to hear this story. I had an experience, I don't remember what year of high school it was. I remember I was not driving yet though, so I might have been like a sophomore. I was maybe 16. I was in a car and I had this whole experience within myself. I didn't talk to anybody about it. But there was a movie, I think we must have passed a movie theater, and I had seen a movie, and I was 16, and whatever the movie was, it was like a big blockbuster at the time, and I didn't enjoy it. I thought it was very, I don't know, it didn't resonate at all with me. It seemed shallow. It didn't seem to have many redeeming qualities as far as I was concerned. And so I just had this knowing like, hey, everybody loves that. Everybody loves that. I don't love it. That's okay. I don't have to love everything that I think that everybody else loves. And so that was like my permission as a 16-year-old that I gave myself to not conform. Now, you know, did I fall into conforming patterns here and there? Sure, I did. But that whole nonconformity, if we can recognize that, you know, there might be some things where we feel pressure to conform. That's something internal. That is bigger work for us than, you know, just something that is automatic that we just want to highlight for our kids. Like, hey, I'm taking an art class. I'm so excited. And just like sharing that joy of learning, living the value of learning. If we have a value that we haven't really stepped into yet, that's bigger work for us. So anyway, I hope that this some part of this resonated. I would love to hear what resonated, and maybe, you know, maybe what didn't. Maybe share a value of yours in the comments. And I have the same invitation for you. If you haven't taken your parenting pulse, it literally takes 2 minutes. It's like yes, no to 10 questions, and it just will give you a great idea of where you are in your parenting. And then there's a few next steps that you can take after that if they feel good. So have a great rest of your day, and I look forward to coming back tomorrow with tip 12. Bye for now.